Welcome to episode 2 of Future Media, a podcast that shares the lessons I've learned over 30 years at the top of the media and tech industries, with a few real-life stories and radical new ideas thrown in to spice things up. My name is Ricky Sutton, and I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my Substack channel. I hope you enjoy this latest pod. Today, I am sharing a story that I haven't told in public before. It reveals how a tiny team that I had the pleasure to lead grew an entertainment brand from nothing to 6 million readers in 3 months. We did it using AI, and skills that media and tech companies globally are still struggling to decode today. Only we did it more than a decade ago. This is the story of The Fix, and how a journalist, a musician, a film buff, a couch potato, and a marketing visionary created a mind-blowingly popular entertainment site with data. It all started with Suri Cruise and a pair of pink Wellington boots. They were the obsession of 6 million people that morning, and we knew this because we had inside data from Microsoft's Bing search engine. It's Sydney, Australia, and Microsoft is in a joint venture with a local broadcaster for a news, video, and entertainment site called 9MSN. 9 provided journalists and content, Microsoft delivered tech and ad sales, and 7 in 10 Australians were using Messenger, Hotmail, and Bing every day. The partnership was an enormous success, quickly overtaking rival sites. Consumers loved the convenience of news and entertainment in their mail and messaging apps. Fantastic engagement meant advertisers loved it too, and money poured in. Up until I joined, the model had been to publish the usual 9 output into Microsoft products. But The Fix was different and bold. It was a brash new brand, entirely out of keeping with Microsoft's staid colours and bland look. The Fix was proud to shout and wanted everyone to know it. And it was a runaway success that exploded to 6 million daily users in just a few months. But it was the way that The Fix used data that was the real secret to its success. And this is the first time I have revealed it. We cracked the code by using data from Bing and human feedback from Microsoft's tools to build a machine learning prototype, AI. Detailed information from Bing meant we could see what people were interested in. That meant we could write for them, knowing what they wanted. The data made us feel omnipotent, and it was a model for certain success, a magic money-making machine. As generative AI transforms media, these insights give big tech a huge advantage. But news media still has a huge contribution to make and lots to gain. But knowing how to make it work is the start. So, let me break down the cocktail for success. At that point, I had been a journalist for 20 years. My job had always been to tell the news, but access to Bing meant I could now know what people were interested in, so I could deliver that. Many of my newsroom peers were appalled. I spent hours arguing with them that people who loved celebrity gossip were just as passionate about it as bankers were about profit or politicians are about power. I said, let's not judge them. Let's use this tech superpower to delight them. This went down badly with many. 9 owned a magazine group, and The Fix was a direct threat to them. But The Fix's audience numbers were rising like a tsunami. It had hit a sweet spot, and we couldn't stop. As I sat at my screen watching rivals chase the never-ending news cycle, a light went on in me. We could do the opposite. Rather than waiting for news to happen, we would write about what we knew people were already interested in. Rather than reacting to breaking news, we would create it, then feed it. We could see trends in search as they happened. We were quite literally hardwired into the zeitgeist. If there was a groundswell of interest in Brad Pitt's abs, we saw it and wrote about it. Granted, these were not stories in the traditional sense. Instead, we were creating stories about topics we could see people cared about. Our editorial bar was that a story was interesting purely because people were interested in it. Full stop. It turned reporting on its head. We were creating, not responding. Articles were crafted and published right into the search frenzy, like dropping a donut in an ant's nest. The response was predictable and amazing. The team was also very different. The Fix newsroom were an eclectic mixture of souls. I was their leader, but I did little other than enable them. They were not journalists in the traditional sense. They were ardent fans who we gave a keyboard to. Celebrity Fix was written by the singer in a band who knew Axl Rose. Movie Fix by a guy who lived for the next release. They were chosen because they were the embodiment of the audience, and the data they were given gave them superpowers. It made them omnipotent. The audience must have felt we knew them. And the truth is that we kind of did. Now, I am at pains to not claim glory for The Fix. I inherited it from a brilliant team when it was already a thing, but I worked very hard to be the right guy in the right place at the right time, and I paid a dear price for it. I was managing editor of digital at News Corp in Sydney when the first rumours about The Fix reached me. I'd spent 12 years at News struggling to help it to adapt to digital. Now I wanted to work at a digital company that was trying to be a news media company. Getting in meant quitting News Corp at the top of my career to take a maternity cover at Microsoft, as well as a hefty pay cut and a potentially career-threatening demotion. But I felt compelled to see what the secret was. I found the answer was Suri Cruise, her pink boots, and a trend line that said, "Write about this and you will win, this time, every time, and forever." Years on, I reflect now that it was like Seinfeld, famous for being about nothing. Like that show, The Fix saw the zeitgeist, mined it, and used it to become the fastest growing and most addictive media phenomenon I have ever been involved in. Over the months, we used the data to pioneer a host of new products. We replaced article comment tools with emojis and used them to create article scores. I love this emoji was +6, a share was +10, LOL was +4, and so on. We used this real-time sentiment to raise our ad rates, and advertisers rushed to buy it. We broke the days into segments and sold ads based on Bieber Hour or the Selena slot when we wrote stories about them. We delivered brand safety and fun as a premium package. We span off a celebrity share trading game called Fixated. It created a stock market based on fame that ran off an algorithm of page views, search volumes, and sentiment analysis to drive share prices. Fix fans could buy and trade shares in the site and show their celebrity credentials by predicting the headlines. Fixated's most ardent traders visited 200 times a day. In time, Fixated morphed into X-Rank, which ranked celebrities by popularity and was a feature of Bing across global markets for years. And finally, FixPlay, a streaming site which launched the same year as Netflix. The Fix was years ahead of its time, and the Microsoft partnership has since dissolved. The media company and the tech giant have taken their own paths, but the lessons of the Fix are more pertinent today than ever. It proves that a working partnership between publishing and big tech can deliver dividends for everyone when it is done well. It was a mind-expanding experience, and I hope my telling of it has given you some food for thought. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my pod. Please show your appreciation by subscribing to Future Media on Substack. It's free, share it with your friends, and send me your feedback. It helps me decide what to share next, so I can help us all build a sustainable future where tech and media can work together for the betterment of all. See you next time.